Welcome to the YouTube video. Today we're going to be watching some true crime. It's good to see everybody. If you don't already know, I watch a lot of these from my Discord channel. If you're not in my Discord, we have a React Suggestions Discord channel tab that you can throw videos in and we might watch some. You might see them on your YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, you missed the streams, but I stream every day except Sundays usually. And you can follow over on the link down below, the Twitch link. I stream on Twitch. And if you're on YouTube and you're not subscribed yet, please consider doing so because that is very helpful. And, you know, my family gets fed, and that's cool. Video time. All right, and let's watch a video by Stay Awake called Killer Girlfriend Doesn't Realize She Was Recorded by CCTV. Interesting.
What's her name? Tara?
Chat. What are the chances the gun went off and she had no idea what happened?
Almost feels like something's bothering me.
Tara, it's the police.
The officers you were looking at are attempting to enter an apartment to conduct a wellness check. But what they find behind this door will shock them.
Maybe not.
Clear that. Clear that. Come in here.
No.
290. You have a female down in a bedroom.
No.
I believe this may be a homicide.
No, you're kidding me, bro.
Don't come in here, brother.
Killer girlfriend, though.
1 hour earlier,
Gay?
the Canton Police Department in Ohio received a 911 call asking them to check in on a 26-year-old woman named Tierra Birch.
Yeah, police Mackenzie.
Yes, ma'am. I need a wellness.
That's so sad, bro.
I think something's wrong. Very wrong.
How old's your daughter?
26.
What's her name?
Tierra Birch.
2 patrol officers were immediately dispatched to Tierra's apartment. When they arrived,
Why?
Tierra's father was waiting for them on the front lawn.
My daughter texted.
He's got no business being right there, bro. They have to tell him to leave or be there. Like, he should not have been, like, at the door with them. That's not good.
Me 6:39 this morning. Says she had COVID. I got off work. Came here to bring her some medicine. And nothing. Her phone goes like voicemail. I called my boy here. He ain't heard her. I called her other friend. He ain't heard her. The lady back there in that blue house said she seen some tall dude driving a car and somebody took laundry baskets out of her part of my house.
The officers headed inside the building, where they met Tierra's younger brother, Tyrese.
When you guys call, can you guys hear her phone ring? Okay.
These guys should not be here, bro. They need to leave them.
Tara, it's the police.
They need to tell...
With no response from Tierra, the officers were becoming increasingly concerned. But at this point, they still needed permission to access the unit if they wanted to check on her.
Yep.
Landlord is coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we don't have enough to force entry. So if the
Gotta get the
landlord's on
owner's
his way,
consent,
we'd rather take that route.
She got a boyfriend or nothing?
Yeah. Supposedly, yeah.
Okay.
He's supposed to be in jail. But
Okay.
I'll be out.
Would that tall, thin male, would that match the
So where does
description, or
killer
not?
girlfriend
Yes.
come
Of the
in?
boyfriend?
Yes.
Maybe it's the boy's girlfriend?
They got, between the two of them, any violent history?
He's got domestic with some other women in Massillon.
One of the officers went back to the police cruiser and confirmed that Tierra's boyfriend, Vincent, was
find
in
out.
fact already in custody.
Well, let's see what happens.
Well, Vince
Let's-
is still in the jail.
Yeah.
He's still in?
Yeah, Vince is in the
Let's quit our assumptions and just see what goes on.
Still in jail?
Yeah.
All right. Please open this door, please.
The landlord arrived 10 minutes later to give the officers Tierra's key.
I'm going to give you the key. I'll let you go in first.
What's her name? Tara?
Let me talk.
I just want to see if it'll
Almost feels like something's bothering me.
Tara, it's the police.
As you've already seen, after realizing that the door was blocked, the officers decided to force their way inside. In Ohio, police
Yeah,
are
I mean,
not
that's
allowed to
pretty
use their
probable
body
cause.
cams on private property. So the officers turn off their video feed, but their audio keeps rolling.
I did not know that. That's interesting.
We have a female down in a bedroom. I believe this may be a homicide. Welcome here, brother.
The officers just discovered Tiara lying face down on the floor of her apartment in a pool of her own blood. She had 52 stab wounds all over her body, leading investigators to believe that this may have been a crime of passion. Based on the lack of physical evidence and the strong scent of bleach, it seemed that the killer had meticulously cleaned the apartment following
I'm gonna
the
go with
attack.
definitely.
Tiara's family couldn't believe somebody would want to harm her. They said Tiara was kind and generous and would make friends everywhere she went. They couldn't help but wonder if Vincent, who had just recently entered Tiara's life, somehow had a role in this murder, despite being locked up behind bars. But not long after Tiara's body was discovered, her father received a chilling text that said, "Sorry about your daughter. Know the game." And the contact that had sent this disturbing text? His dead daughter, Tiara Birch. The killer must have stolen Tiara's phone and was now
Weird
using
ass.
it to taunt her loved ones. However, this killer was a bit too cocky because
That's very
this was
stupid.
actually a huge win for the investigators. They now knew that if they
Very
could find
stupid.
Tiara's phone, they could
Yes.
find Tiara's killer. They obtained the
Weird.
phone's location data for the past 24 hours and created a map
Crazy how
showing
that works.
exactly where the phone had pinged. They then obtained the CCTV footage from any
Fucking
cameras
idiot.
near those locations. Throughout all of the footage, there was one vehicle in particular that kept popping up. A yellow Ford Focus.
This is the part of the criminal investigation process that I fucking love. Like the way it's broken down, they extrapolate phone data and then they look for the commonality and they figure out that this car, just from one text message, they figure out that they can basically break down CCTV to figure out who the person is. I mean, literally, how cool is that shit? How cool is that, dude? Like, honestly, that is the coolest shit about criminology. Yeah, this is forensics. This is technological forensics. Obviously, like, the police aren't doing this. The forensic analysts are. You don't. CSI is a fucking scam. They don't do shit like that. CSI shows are funny because they do everything, and that's like, a team of 5 CSI agents is realistically a team of 60 who all do their own expertise. So, some have like 5 people do one thing, but yeah, forensics is so cool though. I wish I was more scientifically smart to like have done forensics myself, but I took it in high school. But yeah, I mean, how stupid you send a text message like that. Might have been the only reason she gets caught here.
Hatchback with
Who
a
knows?
stripe on both sides. This same Ford Focus appeared on the surveillance cameras near Tiara's apartment as well, at 3:48 a.m., about a block away
Exactly.
from Tiara's residence. The yellow Ford Focus drives into view and parks on the side of the road.
And they might
Two
not have even
suspects then exit the
they
vehicle,
might not have
but
even
the
thought
footage
about
is
it.
too dark and too blurry to identify them. The suspects walk in the direction of Tiara's apartment until they exit the frame. The detectives believed that this was just moments before Tiara was murdered. About a
Polo
half
time
hour
for
later,
sure.
one of the suspects is captured carrying something large back to their car, possibly a laundry basket.
The lady back there in that blue house said she sees some tall dude driving a car and somebody took laundry baskets out.
Over the next couple of hours, the suspects make multiple trips to and from Tiara's apartment, loading several more items into the car. In this footage, the suspects were most likely robbing Tiara's apartment and disposing of evidence. At 6:49 a.m., while they were still cleaning the crime scene, Tiara's father received the text from Tiara's phone saying that she was sick.
My daughter texted me 6:39 this morning, says she had COVID.
It is
Bro.
believed that this text was sent by one of the suspects pretending
fact that it's
Tiara
not
was
even
still
her,
alive
that's so
and
fucked.
attempting to delay an investigation. Fast forward to 8:20 a.m. The sun is now up, and the suspects can be seen on another camera leaving Tiara's apartment for the last time. But their faces are still obscured. Not only that, but throughout all of the footage the detectives had found, the license plate on the yellow Focus was unreadable due to the poor camera quality.
Bolo
the problem
time.
was that the cameras they were looking at were not equipped with license
Partial
plate readers,
plate
so the
bolo, for
resolution was
sure.
too low to make out any of the text on
I see a
screen.
1.
The detectives were at a dead end with the
Or is that a
surveillance
3?
footage, so they decided to speak with Tiara's boyfriend, Vincent Ryan, to see if he had any valuable information. As we mentioned earlier, Vincent was already behind bars. Vincent had been in jail for the past 10 days after being accused of aggravated burglary. But according to him, this burglary was all one big setup, and he knew exactly who was trying to frame him.
This is all stemming from because I don't want to be with this chick. These chicks is playing games with y'all. They playing game with me. They with my life, sir.
The chicks that Vincent is referring to are his ex-girlfriends, Asia Lindsay and Taylor Hammond. He was convinced that these women were falsely accusing him of burglary in order to ruin his life. What Vincent doesn't realize is that these women may have taken things to the next level.
Were you in a relationship with Tierra Birch?
Tierra Birch? Yes.
There's no easy way for me to tell you this.
Uh-huh.
We found her dead today. And we believe it's homicide.
What? Well, where? What? Where? This is some cool. And now y'all coming here telling me Tierra is dead, sir? These two. That's who y'all need to find. These two.
Immediately following this interview, detectives looked into Vincent's burglary case. They noticed that 2 people reported this burglary to the Massillon Police Department, a man named Jeffrey James, as well as Vincent's ex, Taylor Hammond. So the detectives contacted Taylor to ask her directly about the burglary. However, she claimed that she never went into the police station and didn't even know who Jeffrey James was. To confirm what she was saying, the detectives acquired the surveillance footage from the lobby of the Massillon Police Department. Jeffrey could clearly be seen waiting to speak to the police, but Taylor was nowhere to be found. However, there was somebody else waiting with him, and this person looked just like ex-girlfriend number 2, 38-year-old Asia Lindsay. The two can even be seen speaking to the police about the so-called burglary. After seeing this footage, the detectives working Tierra's case decided to speak with Jeffrey themselves. During this interview, Jeffrey admitted that he had actually been pressured by 2 of his friends to help file the police report against Vincent. His 2 friends were Asia Lindsay and his roommate, 31-year-old Jamal Bullock. He also pointed out that Jamal was at the police station as well when he and Asia filed the report. The detectives looked back at the footage, and at one point while Asia and Jeffrey were speaking to the police, Jamal casually walked through the lobby. It was now clear that Asia Lindsay and Jamal Bullock were the puppet masters behind Vincent's burglary allegations. But if the detectives wanted to prove that Asia and Jamal were also involved in Tierra's death, they somehow needed to place them at the crime scene. Since the surveillance footage was too dark and too blurry on the night of the crime, and the suspects were covering their face in all of the daytime footage, it seemed that the detectives were out of luck. Until they zoomed in on the daytime footage and saw that one of the suspects was wearing a very specific pair of Nike sneakers. They compared this to the police station footage and noticed that Jamal was wearing the exact same pair of sneakers. They also checked Asia Lindsay's vehicle records, and the vehicle currently registered under her name happened to be a yellow Ford Focus hatchback. They looked up her license plate in their traffic camera database and saw that on the morning of Tierra's murder, Asia's yellow Focus was photographed by a license plate reader as it passed through an intersection. They were finally able.
And what is so cool is they can take this license plate reader, see the trajectory of her car, and basically line up a timeline of her car based off of CCTV footage. It's so cool, man.
To zoom in on this license plate and confirm that this yellow Focus with a stripe on both sides belonged
they can basically
to Asia
create
the detectives
a
now
timeline based off of CCTV car
to charge
footage.
Asia and Jamal with complicity to murder. So just 2 days after Tierra was killed, officers tracked them down and placed them both under arrest.
Can you say something? I'm like so lost right now.
The officers refused to give Asia any information as she sat there in shock.
Okay, now can somebody say something to me?
What is happening?
Right downtown? Okay.
Despite being
what is this
completely caught
dynamic?
off
Why
guard,
is she like...
Asia was also very calm and cooperative. After arriving at the police station, she was brought directly into the interrogation room for questioning.
All right, so we have to talk about some stuff because I think that you are able to tell me the truth.
And I will. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you about anything. Like, you got to understand one thing about me is I'm a very, 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 very honest person. I've done bad things, okay? And when I've gotten caught, I never lied. I told the truth.
The detectives finally informed Asia that she was under arrest for the murder of Tierra Birch. Before they could ask her any questions, Asia immediately started explaining why she was near Tierra's residence that night.
I was selling. I know that sounds bad, but I gotta be honest, I make more money doing that.
Did the
than if I
cocaine
spent the whole
payment
shift at
come in
work,
laundry
you know?
or?
However, after realizing she had been caught on camera making multiple trips to and from Tierra's apartment, she completely changed her story. She said that it wasn't her in the surveillance footage because at the time of Tierra's murder, she was
What?
tied up in her basement.
I'm involved in some
Tied-
weird stuff. And that's kind of like what I was involved with. And I just don't like telling people that. That's
Like
embarrassing.
role playing or something?
Yeah, but it's a little more extreme.
At 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I got kids. What do you, I can't be,
Right.
I gotta make sure they're nice and sleeping. Sorry, like I got a whole basement. It gets real active down there.
The detective scrutinized this freaky story and asked Asia what exactly was preventing her from leaving her basement.
My leash has a freaking timer on it when it unlocks and lets you loose.
They're making her
And
explain.
it was not set to let me loose until 6:30.
Asia stuck to this story for the rest of her interview and kept insisting that she was the most honest person in the world. The detectives pushed back, claiming that Asia was the angry and jealous mastermind behind this
Why don't we
entire plan.
produce the
She
timer
first needed
leash?
Vincent in jail, so Tierra would be left alone, giving Asia the chance to kill her.
Officer,
Asia
it
firmly
wasn't me. I
denied
was getting
these
freaky.
allegations.
I have no issue with that girl. I don't even
Prove
give a damn that
it.
Vincent's
Prove I did it.
gone.
Prove I wasn't getting freaky.
You were hoping
Good
he was
luck.
gonna come back to your job thing.
With no progress being made and no physical evidence to disprove Asia's story, the detectives decided to wrap things up and move on to Jamal.
Were you with Asia on the 19th?
No, I was.
You can tell his ass was wearing the shoes that they caught him with
Jamal.
because he doesn't have them on. He was absolutely still wearing those shoes.
Were you with Asia on the 19th?
That is so funny, bro.
No, I was over there. I was at home.
That is
Cameras in every
hilarious.
house almost. So now I'm giving you a chance to be honest too.
Jamal wasn't budging either, so the detectives left to grab the surveillance footage. While Jamal sat alone in the interrogation room, it seemed that reality was starting to set
Bro,
in.
taking prints
He
of
seemed
his
much more
shoe
nervous
soles
than
and
Asia,
everything.
especially after seeing the surveillance footage. The detectives noticed this and wasted no time upping the pressure.
I want you to tell me the truth. I don't want you to tell me something you think I want to hear.
Oh my God, we're pointing.
I don't want you to tell me something you don't know. I want the whole truth. Okay? How did Asia kill her? Stop saying you don't know, man. How did she kill her?
Stabbed her. Yes, stabbed her. I was scared, but I didn't never put two and two that she would be out here doing something like this. I didn't mean for it to go like that.
Jamal said that when he initially agreed to help Asia, the plan was to put Vincent in jail, then steal his items from Tierra's apartment. According to him, Asia never mentioned a plan to murder Tierra, and he never expected her to be capable of something so sinister.
Now it makes me feel like that. So she would kill me. I'm sorry what happened. And if I can do anything different, then she would not be dead right now.
The interview was concluded, and Jamal was charged with involuntary manslaughter and aggravated burglary. Asia's complicity to murder charge was then upgraded to aggravated murder. Both of them pled guilty. Jamal was sentenced to 20 to 25 years in prison, while Asia was sentenced to 20 years to life. 1 year after his
Sounds about
conviction,
right.
in a last-ditch effort, Jamal claimed that he was never informed of his right to appeal his sentence or the procedural aspects of his plea bargain. So he tried to file his appeal late, but this motion was denied. His first parole hearing is scheduled for November of 2041, while Asia's first parole hearing is scheduled for January of 2042. If Asia's parole is denied, she will likely spend the rest of her natural life behind bars.
Stop
Something
looking
many
like
people
that.
were hoping for long before Tierra's murder. Back in
Really?
2010, 32-year-old father of three, Nino Bennett, was having a night out at a Canton bar called Frames Tavern. At one point, Nino got into a full-on fist fight. He then left the bar and began walking down Lennis Avenue. Moments later, Nino sustained multiple traumatic injuries after being crushed by the motor vehicle. He died shortly after. The Canton Police Department received a 911 call from the woman who discovered his body. That woman was Asia Lindsay.
I was coming home from the mixer. I turned down this alley because I can turn down this alley to get to my house. It's a different way. That's when I came upon the body. Like I said, I thought the guy was asleep. So I yelled to him, "Hey, get up." And he didn't respond. I even blew the horn, no response. So therefore, I drove down and I backed out and I pulled back in to realize his head is bleeding. And you can see his spine. And it looked like I promise, it looked like someone took something and just like ripped right up him. No one was out here. It was like a couple of people, but for the most part, nobody was out here.
Although Asia said that she called the police right away, when the police arrived at the scene, her father and brother were already there. After evaluating Nino's injuries, the authorities determined that his death was a vehicular homicide. The police struggled to gain momentum in the case, so they urged the public to come forward with any information. Nino's family spoke to the media several times after his death, begging
Why would
Nino's
he be
killers to
asleep?
turn themselves in.
You ever see someone on
Turned
drugs?
our world upside down.
They took him away from his daughter.
They'll pass out anywhere, bro.
Took away someone far, far too soon before his time. Most definitely someone had it out for him.
Yes. The truth will come out sooner or later. And if you have any heart whatsoever, bring yourself forward.
You can ask God to forgive you, and we ask God to forgive you. Please just come and do what you're supposed to do. This person can't just wander around free thinking they got away with this.
The investigation into Nino's death went on for months with zero progress.
That's so upsetting,
eventually,
bro.
the case
Those
went
kids are
cold.
like 30 now.
And
like
this
my
could have been a
age.
sheer accident, you know? Pure
Well,
accident.
Much older than
It's
me.
sad.
Well,
It's
not much
hurtful.
older, but like his kids are
Yeah, and I'm
like
just
probably
sad.
30-ish.
Now I feel bad. I feel like I want to cry again. I'm right, though.
To this day, 16 years later, Nino's family is still seeking answers,
Wow.
hoping to one day bring justice to Nino's killer.
We met with Nino's family just after the 15-year anniversary of his death.
Wait, no,
His
they might be
dad
20.
has
I don't know
since
why I was
passed
thinking
away. His
it was
daughters have grown up,
2006.
and now they have children of their own, grandchildren Nino never got to meet.
That man was a loving father, which you took, a loving husband, which
Wow.
you took, a son, which you took.
His family keeps a memorial up in this alley where he lost his life.
Okay, right here we have this big banner that says Justice for Nino.
Nino's oldest daughter, Chloe, holds on to the few memories she has of her dad. His youngest daughter, Carly, was just 2 years old when he died. Too young
Dude.
for any memories at all.
Growing up, when you're little like that, and you go to school and you have father-daughter dances, you got that taken away. When you get married, you can't have your father walk you down the aisle.
He was at this tavern around the corner before it happened. They heard he got into a fight with someone, and they believe he was run over on purpose. We asked those questions to Canton police, who tell us they're still investigating.
I don't understand how they can just sleep at night knowing just that they did this. So, come forward.
It's very sad, because, I mean, that's somebody's son. That could be somebody's dad. And for someone to do something like that,
It
it's
was.
just like, man, like, people really don't have hearts.
Case is still active. W, stay awake. Wow. That's upsetting, bro. That is an upsetting moment. Wow. I mean, just, dude. Yeah, I mean, they'll probably look more into it with her involvement. I don't know. That's crazy. I hope they figure something out, because that's wild.